Very nice. So we have Alexei on Lonis. I think the only deck in the format right now that plays Aluren. And we have Leopold on Emmet. Oh. Emmet, a deck that Marcus played lately. He also played it in Strasbourg. From my point of view, a very powerful one. Very powerful deck. It's one of those decks that if you want to feature or if you want to play a deck that utilizes Brute Lord combo, there are a couple of options. I think Emmet is probably one of the best ones because you have some interaction spells, counter spells. Not that many, but still. There's a Bowmaster. Probably trying to get rid of Sylvan Safekeeper. That's a tough decision already. Do you want to protect it or not? Probably yes. I have to be honest, the last time I saw Lonis is quite a while ago. I'm not sure about the current. Oh, Tower Winder, searching for a command tower. I'm not sure about the current combo lines. I know there is Shrieking Drake with Alluran, and there are some other ways to cheat investigate tokens, but I'm unsure about how the deck currently wins. So that's a Tower Winder, should be known to almost, or to most people, let's say it like this. Emet-Selch, on the other hand, you might not know that one. A rather new commander from Final Fantasy. Front side looks rather simple. Draw, discard, loot. Second phrase is quite relevant. You will learn to respect it if you play against the deck more often. Sometimes, especially when the games are a bit grindier, you will encounter a situation in which it flips, and then all of a sudden on the backside you have a Yawgmoth's Will on a creature. A bit of a... Oh, it's actually the same. You can play cards or you can even play lands. So yeah, the deck usually either wins by cheesy Reanimator lines or going for a repetitive Brute Lord line that ends up in casting Tendrils of Agony. I find it cool that I think the most efficient deck we had so far was Old Thick Fingers, which is banned for that exact reason. But I kind of like the fact that Brute Lord enables players outside of Roguerag Magic to go for Storm lines. And I think now, after the ban, here we have an Academy Manufacturer. I'm going to show you a cool new artwork from the latest Secret Layer drop. I really like that one. Whether or not you like it is up to you. Definitely one of the crazier cards with Lonis. So it enters, you make a clue token, but instead you will add a treasure and a food. And I think there are a couple of combos around Academy, Manufacturer, and Lonis. So we have a Corpse Dance here in hand. There's an Otawara, Dance of the Deaf. No, it's not a dance, that's a Corpse Dance. I have no idea what the white Looking card is here. We also have an unmask and a saw in half. Okay. Pitching the saw in half means we more or less sacrifice the Tendrils plan. There is a Sylvan Tutor, Tishana's Tidebinder, and the third card is a mystery. I can't remember this artwork, to be fair. I'm sorry. It's 3 or 4 mana something. Maybe you can. Isn't it Eldritch? Okay, thank you. Yeah, that could make sense. Eldritch Evolution. Ah, it's this artwork. It's a secret layer. I see, I see, I see. Yeah, we talked about thousands of artworks earlier. Makes sense. Oh yeah, I thought about that. The colorless or white card, here to be white, is a summon Behemoth, a 9/9 flying saga creature that destroys a non-land permanent on entering the first and second stage. I think in the third stage you draw 2 cards, in the fourth I don't remember anymore. Sylvan Tutor, a beautiful artwork. This one I can definitely tell is a Sylvan Tutor, one of the coolest cards. Like, not the card itself, but the artwork is just, I love it so much. The raccoon and the frog, Lubs, and as the Key Knight Curator reunited. Really nice. So there is the Shrieking Drake, and now with the Shrieking Drake and the Academy Manufactor on field, we already have a combo. Intuition end of turn. I will be completely honest with you. Might be that we don't get there. I mean, then again, the summon is not really dangerous with the Sylvan Safekeeper on board, because then you can cast a Shrieking Drake. You will always make a treasure, and then you have enough clue tokens to activate Lonis and search your library for something. And I would expect, I mean, it might be an Urza that brings like a gigantic token or something like this. But it should be something that wins in the same turn, right? We will have a look. I'm curious about how they finish the game. Okay, the intuition. Yeah, that could have been a line, but then again, I don't know if there is like additional mana needed. I mean, the Lonis activation doesn't cost any additional mana, so they could have definitely went for that. We have an unmarked grave, animate dead, and a shallow grave. And they decide to give Emmet an unmarked grave. Yeah, with the information that Saw in Half is in the graveyard already. I don't like it that much, because the thing is, now you can search for a tutor, and the tutor. Not quite. Not quite. The Bowmaster token is dead. I was just thinking about the fact that you go for the Brute Lord, you cast the Corpse Dance, get Brute Lord on field, and then if you have like one more creature, you can search for Toxic Deluge, cast a Toxic, and then you're safe next turn. But we're missing 1 mana here. Oh, true, it's opponent's library. Sorry. Yeah, true. But I mean, even better against the Reanimator deck, right? That's not too bad. Emmet decides not to cast the Unmarked Grave. Making tons of food tokens. But we see a Neoform in hand. There might be. Yeah, I think with he should consider at some point maybe to just wash away the Shrieking Drake, right? Nah, Cop Sense doesn't really do anything here. We'll just protect Lonis and all the other things from. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. I think that's not the right line. Especially now that I mean you just float mana and then you have enough mana to go for the Neoform. And maybe that's even worse. I'm not sure if that's correct, but seems to be worse. So Shrieking Drake returns. It's a bit. The resolution is a bit sloppy, to be fair. So either you symbolize that you have like infinite tokens, because at that point you have if you sacrifice that many treasures. Because like the food tokens are definitely infinite too. And now they can search for whatever they have in mind. And especially with the protection from Sylvan Safekeeper, it's an interesting one. So maybe I'm missing some information here, or uh, I don't know. With the Bowmaster on field, Archon is not too dangerous, but yeah, he decides to sacrifice the Bowmaster. The Behemoth will be exiled end of turn. That's definitely a. That's exiled. It's not in the graveyard. That's very important here. Oh, it was a stock up. Okay, I thought it was a wash away. It looked like a wash away, and here we have a memory lapse in response. Yeah, like the main decks, right? You know, Slamfoot, you know, Aragon, and things like this, Atraxa, whatsoever. But maybe you're not super familiar with all the things that came up in the past. And Lonis is definitely a relic from the past that some people are still passionate about. And as we just saw, it's still capable of winning games. Just needs a lot of setup. Oh, Durus hitting Earthcraft is definitely a banger. Because apart from that, the hand looks quite underwhelming. I mean, we have Tamiyo, we have an Urza Saga, which synergizes well with all the blue tokens. But you're playing against another combo deck. So I'm not sure if you have enough time to bring down strategy. What's that? Is that the 3-mana fight spell? It looks like the green one. There is a chart course, a very old card that saw some play again in this pile. At some point, this was considered to be a somewhat good cantrip. Some decks featured it. These days, it's too cute for 2 mana. Has to be more impactful if it isn't for preparing for very big reanimation turns. And that's exactly the reason why the deck plays the card. And I think there is an Astral Dragon in the graveyard, right? Emmet is going to draw an unknown card to me and discarding a Tainted Indulgence, it seems. No, it's the sink into stupor. Okay. Yeah, once they find a reanimation spell, the Astral Dragon can cause some problems. Having another clue. Tamiyo is also a very, very nice addition to the deck. And here we have the Sylvan Tutor again. Searching for an endurance. Yeah, okay. Why not? Going for the safe line here. Not trying to risk anything. Makes perfectly sense. I think there is another land drop open. So this is very likely the Urza Saga. Let's go back to Lonis. Okay, whenever another non-token creature enters. So the tokens, the construct tokens would not trigger it. Which is understandable from a design perspective. Okay. Preordain. We have a currency converter still. Added indulgence. I think there's a reanimation spell, but could also be a demonic tutor, I'm not sure. Discarding an unmarked grave. And there is a Lake of the Dead. He already did the full flange. Okay, the opponent decides not to crack the clue. That's interesting. Maybe he wants to tank the clues in order to pressure more with the tokens. Then again, you have Tamiyo. Oh, there's a brainstorm to trigger Tamiyo at some point. I think if you go for that, you do it now. Right? Because then you get a more or less safe Tamiyo trigger. Maybe not. Okay, he wants to farm more clue tokens. Maybe even waiting for a responsive spell. Oh, there's an Exhume, which is less effective against, especially against Endurance. But we have a Remand, which is also not the best counterspell against an Endurance. But I think he's well set up. There's one pitch, and if endurance gets bounced back with 2 cards in hand, we have a remand. Maybe there's even another counterspell. What are you doing? Why? No, no. I don't get it. Why would you fetch first? Okay, because you want to hardcast it. Well, I think that's not the correct line. I think the correct line would have been to cast a brainstorm, flip Tamiyo, and then look for another pitch, because that way you're also protected against force spikes or things like that. Okay, he's force spike proof anyways, as long as the mana is not tapped, but now you don't get to make a token, and the token is the way to pressure. Not sure. Especially because the Axiom resolves and endurance will hit the graveyard. So you get the endurance back. You get the body. That's not the problem. Yeah, I think the play could have been better.
Il n'a pas de créature à exhume du cimetière avec le Lonis, non, effectivement. Il a 2 spells, un land. Enfin, 2 non créés, un land. Et oui, effectivement, dans tous les cas. D'ailleurs, c'est peut-être pour ça qu'il a pitch endurance. Parce que si tu pitch endurance, tu enlèves le cimetière adverse, ton
At that point, there's only Emmet on field. So it's not a big deal to throw in Lonis for Tamiyo, I think. Especially because with the plus activation, Emmet would only deal 1 damage, which is not very dangerous at all. Maybe Lava Spur Boots to have a hasty construct? That would be cool. I would expect him to play something like this, but maybe it's something else. Haywire Might is also not bad. You could go for the Haywire Might for value to interact with all the animate dads and stuff. He's searching for something. Shuko. Okay. Maybe he has a way to go for Naru lines. Yeah, that's something. It's a bit ridiculous that all the Simic Plus decks are essentially supported by Naru combos whenever the 99 is not strong enough, or even the command zone is not strong enough to carry the game on itself. Bell's Guide. Yeah. I just have to check. Did he forget to... No, he did not. Definitely a cool deck. Oops. There we go. So, just wanted to show the backside. We have a treasure token off of the currency converter, and the opposing board looks quite overwhelming. I mean, the Toxic Deluge is definitely good. You have to go for 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7. So go for 6. I think he paid 1 too much. Or did he? Yeah, because by the time the Spell's Guide leaves, it's reduced by 1. They can save that damage. And I think it's essential in that matchup.
Mais là, il va falloir qu'il fasse quand même.
There is a bit of triumph for Tamiyu. That's a very good find.
Ça le remet sur les rails, je pense. On note qu'a priori, Léopold aime sa carte en main parce qu'il a choisi.
Now the additional life loss is even more relevant.
Réanimateur persiste. Le réanimateur. Bah, la carte persiste. Ah oui, pardon. J'étais sur la capacité.
Sorry, I forgot to put the point on the left side. Yeah, Lonis won the first one.
Qu'il ait choisi de passer à 1. Ça lui bloque quand même pas mal d'options sur sa mana base. Je pense qu'il a trop besoin. En fait, la Cause de Dead, on s'en fout, non? Ah non, mais je sais pourquoi. C'est parce qu'il a pas trop de moteur de discard aussi. Bah, il a juste un currency converter on board, quoi.
What's it gonna be now?
Pourquoi se garder
Situation would have looked better if
Vraiment, le truc, c'est que tu pioches un pâté, tu currency converter, tu réanimes, t'as pas besoin de Lake of the Dead. Par contre, tes PV, si tu pioches un fetch pour aller chercher un surveil land, je pense que c'est quand même pas mal. Ah, il a déjà fetché son surveil land. Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait, Lonis, pour 4 mana? J'ai pas suivi.
there would have been a second construct. And that's a Durus?
Et donc là, du coup,
No, it's an Inquisition of Kozilek, right? Yeah.
assez vénère il y a 3 landes.
And the opponent revealed 3 lands? Yeah.
Elle était probe et tout. Ça peut peut-être commencer à faire des petites bêtises, d'artefact à 1.
So it's time to find a target for the persist, I would say. Maybe Emmet can manage to bring down a sneaky combo turn. Ponder, okay. 2-3, Psychic Frog. Yeah, you can cast that. That's fine. You can see a couple of more cards. Okay, he decides to shuffle. Hmm. I mean, there's a treasure token, and at least the Psychic Frog provides a blocking body. If there's any hasty thing coming in next turn, which we don't know about. And if not, you can draw another card. I mean, yeah, there was a land on top and a necromancy. It didn't look that promising. It's definitely difficult. Drawing another land, not better. Hmm. That's very rough. Looks quite hard to win. Worldly Tutor will find Questing Beast, Frenzied Bellow, Nadu. Maybe the deck plays a Frenzied Bellow, I'm not sure. Something hasty to swing in. He has all the information about the opponent's hand. Searching again. Going for the Nadu, okay. Yeah, maybe he was just checking a second time whether or not there's a better find. Nadu. 1, 2. Well, at least you have a bird your opponent has to handle, right? Otherwise, game goes to your opponent from a Demer perspective. Yep. Come on. At least we can tell it's not a creature. Otherwise, he would immediately. Oh, it is a creature. That's not bad. Not using the trigger. Fine. Persist for the demon. Tracking the clue, drawing a card, no reaction. And I'm pretty sure the Rune Scar Demon will find another interactive spell. There's not really a line to combo now. Or maybe there is. If you go for the Saw in Half, because you can also manually go through the line with the Saw in Half, but after you cast the Saw in Half, you don't have any more mana left for the sacrifice. And also, sacrifice provides one less mana. That's why the Broodlord is so much better. No, the previous one was a Worldly Tutor. He just played a Worldly Tutor. Before that, he played a Silver Tutor. I'll show you guys. You look in the graveyard. That's the artwork of the Worldly Tutor. The Sylvan Tutor he played was the miraculous special art. Yeah, he's thinking about Saw in Half. I mean, what he could do is go for Saw in Half. I'm not quite sure. The deck, I think the deck does not play Flare of Malice. And it doesn't do anything at that point because you cannot sacrifice the tokens. Dismember Nadu makes sense. Getting a Key Knight Curator, okay. It's not getting better. It's not getting better for the reanimation player. That's rough. That's rough. But you know, that's what you signed up for. Some people are prepared. Casting Lonis, casting Keen-Eyed Curator. There's an unable to screen. Oh, whoa, for the demon. That's difficult. And he decides not to play the unable to screen. Okay. Okay. Don't like that. Is there any other out? The second card was a land, right? But I mean, well, you should just recast your commander, I think. Yeah, it's not the careful study that goes in under the currency converter. It's the two cards that you discarded. What is that? It's the Dragonstorm enchantment. Yeah. The Roiling Dragonstorm. Bolt. Hmm. He was probably searching for anything to pitch into the currency converter in order to create a rogue that could block Lonis. or like just having a second blocker. But we have land, instant, sorcery, and creature on Lonis side, so the Key Knight Curator is going to become big anyways, and it gets trample in addition. Yeah, creating a treasure token. You cast Emmet. Makes sense. There's another swamp. That's crazy. So many lands.
C'est ça. C'est surtout ça, je pense, qui va être critique. Ça va être donc d'exiler le bon nombre de cartes pour que le raton laveur devienne 7-7 piétinement. Et après, c'est juste une histoire de mettre tes créatures à 90 degrés. Et on a une game
Okay. Exiling 2 cards. Instant and sorcery. And now, yeah, exiling enchantment whatsoever. And that's enough. Not even showing the unable to scream. There's also an opposition. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, interesting match between those two decks. I think Lonis did a great job.